The glass in my hand didn't shake. That was the first miracle of the evening. Because everything else, my father's words, my brother's smirk, the laughter that fizzled into that long, awful silence, felt like drowning in molasses. Thick, slow, ugly. My son gets the business. My daughter? Dad chuckled into the microphone. A job at Wendy's, if she's lucky. Then came the echo that would twist the knife. She'd screw that up, too, Caleb muttered, just loud enough for the first few tables to hear. They laughed, some out of politeness, others because they believed it. I looked at my father. He didn't correct him, didn't flinch, just raised his scotch to a room full of men he respected more than his own blood. That was the moment I buried the daughter they thought I was. Caleb used to braid my hair when Mom was still alive. He'd pretend the Xbox controller was dead just so I wouldn't play alone. We were close once, before power turned him into someone who saw me as a liability instead of a sister. And Dad, well, he used to call me kiddo. That died the day I turned down his offer to be his secretary. Not operations manager, not executive assistant, just a warm body behind a desk, answering phones while Caleb got walked through board meetings like a prince in training. They say betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from those you trust. But I never trusted them, not really. I just hoped I was wrong. The change was slow, like rot beneath paint. First, it was Caleb accidentally removing me from email threads. Then it was forgotten invites to quarterly meetings. Then my parking pass didn't work. But the real crack came when I found the shareholder packet, one I was never supposed to see, tucked beneath a stack of invoices in Dad's office. He'd sold my shares to Caleb, behind my back, forged my signature. I stared at it for a long time, not in disbelief, in silence, calculation, because I knew then revenge would take time. And time is a tool most people waste. I didn't confront him, not yet. I went to law school on my own dime, under a different name, quietly, night classes, 3 years. I worked in silence, studied in silence, bled in silence. When I passed the bar, I didn't tell a soul. I just smiled through family dinners and let them think I was still aimless, soft, forgettable. Meanwhile, I built a case. Forgery, fraud, breach of fiduciary duty. I collected everything. Call logs, email headers, archived server backups. The IT guy had a thing for crossword puzzles. Guess who started bringing him coffee? My favorite clue? 8 down. What a father signs to damn himself. Answer? Trust amendment. 2 weeks before Dad's retirement gala, I made an appointment with the firm that handled the company's legal affairs. I didn't go in angry. I went in with a binder, a flash drive, and a deadline. They offered a settlement before I even finished my pitch, but I declined. I didn't want money. I wanted a stage. Dad's retirement party was held at the Grand Meridian Ballroom. White tablecloths, crystal chandeliers, 3 types of shrimp. They seated me near the back, naturally, next to Aunt Lillian, who never remembered my name. But I didn't mind. It gave me a full view of the stage. I let him talk. I let him boast. And when he dropped that line about Wendy's, I didn't even blink. Then Caleb piped up with his insult, like a good little heir. Then came the sound I'd been waiting for, a throat clearing. The lawyer stood, quietly, respectfully, paper in hand. "If I may," he said, voice steady, "there's been a change." You could feel the confusion ripple through the room, like static before a storm. He read from the new trust documents, the ones Dad signed 6 months ago, thinking they were routine. His eyesight had gotten worse, and Caleb usually skimmed them for him. Except this time, Caleb didn't. Because this time, the documents weren't from his lawyer, they were from mine. And they named me majority shareholder, effective immediately. Dad's face drained, like a man watching his house burn down with him still inside. Caleb stood, shouted something about forged papers, legal tricks. But I just stood too, calm, tall, in a navy suit they'd never seen me in. "I passed the bar last year," I said, voice cutting through the room like a blade. "Everything's legal. Everything's binding. And as of tonight, I own 62% of the company." Pause. Let it sink in. I turned to Caleb. "Oh, and you were right. I would screw up a job at Wendy's." I leaned in, smiling just enough. Too honest for fast food. After the party, I walked alone to the valet. No one followed. No one dared. When they handed me my keys, I caught my reflection in the driver's side window. Still me, just sharper. Dad hasn't spoken to me since. Caleb tried to sue, but the judge dismissed it before lunch. The company runs better now. Quiet, clean, efficient, just like my plan. And sometimes, when I pass the Wendy's near our old neighborhood,